So let's start in seated position the way we always do this morning. I'd like to offer a short breath practice and meditation at the beginning and the end of this class. And part of the reason for that is to notice the difference in how you sit and breathe and meditate unprepared and how you can sit and breathe and meditate after some asana and some physical work. You all know that the more you do this, the easier it gets to just stop what you're doing, sit still, and come to center. But that does take work and practice. So go ahead and find a seat, and a comfortable seat, clearing the flesh. We're going to start with a breath called Nadi Shodhana, and this is an alternate nostril breath that helps us balance the two hemispheres of the brain. The right side of our brain is our more feminine, yin, calm side. And the left side of the brain is our more masculine, fiery, yang side. So when we alternate our nostrils, we stimulate both hemispheres of the brain and we end up with a little more balance. So the way to begin this, the way I like to do this is take your first two fingers and press them between your eyebrows and press with a little bit of effort. So you really feel that touch. And then you'll use your thumb and ring finger or pinky, you can choose, maybe even both together, to alternate closing off the sides of your nose. I'd like you to try to press high on the bridge of your nose instead of down close to the nostrils. So without pressing, we'll take a deep breath in and breathe out through both nostrils. Close your eyes, seal off the right nostril and breathe in through the left. A long, slow breath, hold at the top. Switch your fingers and breathe out of the right. A long, slow exhale. And then we reverse, inhale through the right, long, slow breath and hold. Reverse your fingers, long, slow breath out the left. And we begin again. In left, hold, out right. And then in right, out left. Continue that on your own a few more times. In, switch, out. In, switch, out. The next time you breathe out of your left nostril, release your hand, keep your eyes closed, and just breathe naturally through your nose. Notice any sensations, any awareness, this first few moments of our practice. Let your fingertips fall to the floor on either side of you and turn your palms up so your shoulders rotate open. Take a deep breath in, arms overhead. Exhale to press the air down on either side of you, palms down. And do that a few times, exaggerating the breath now. It's almost like you're sniffing and bringing air into your brain. And then rest your hands on your lap. Roll your shoulders back and down a few times. In today's practice, we're going to be searching for the Atman. the Atman, the self-shining consciousness, our witness consciousness, the witness in us which observes all, yet is not touched by anything, observes all, yet unfettered by anything. Go ahead and bring yourself around to a tabletop position and come to child's pose. And we'll begin our asana here. You can keep your eyes closed, breathing through your nose. The witness which observes all and is not affected by it. Where is that? Who is that in you? Take a moment in child's pose to shift your hips side to side, like a hammock just swinging over your heels. Feel your hips and your knees. These asana practices help us address the physical body. And that's the first layer of who we are. The second layer is the layer of our breath, our prana, our energy. Go ahead and come up to tabletop position. Knees come a little closer together, and let's move through cat and cow. So noticing how those two layers of self come together, body and breath. Notice breath moving underneath your skin. See if you can feel these shapes on the inside more than the outside. And coming to a tabletop position, let's tuck our toes and in slow motion, peel your hips up into downward facing dog. And then continue this exploration of how the physical body meets the breath body. These layers are called koshas. The physical body, Annamaya kosha. The breath body, prana maya kosha. How do those two dance together? Slowly bring your feet to meet your hands, and we'll start to create a rhythmic movement with breath. Pressing hands to shins, lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Press to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press and lengthen. And lower. Pause here in forward fold. Let your fingers touch your elbows. Knees are bent. Ragdoll. Breath and body. The third layer is Mano Maya Kosha, and it's the layer of thinking and feeling, thoughts and emotions. It's the language of our being. Press to lengthen. Softening the knees, sweep your arms high, extended mountain. And as your hands meet, draw them to heart center, sink into chair. And again, reach high, moving with breath. Noticing these three layers of experience: physical body, breath, energy, prana, and thinking, feeling body. Do you notice those three parts coming together for you? The thinking body might be saying, this feels good, or this hurts, or I don't like this, or how much longer, or I have an appointment, right? Thinking really pulls us away from these layers. Let's go one more huge breath. Exaggerate this one like a grand gesture. Sniff in, hold, and then exhale, hands to heart. Pause here, thumbs to sternum, eyes closed. Body, breath, thinking, feeling. We're going to move through Surya Namaskar A moving meditation, an opportunity to observe these three: body, breath, and thinking, feeling. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway up, look forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward, plank pose, and let's all drop our knees, spinning the elbows forward. We'll lower halfway down and hold. And yes, your arms might shake a little bit. Notice that layer of thinking and feeling now. And then melt your belly to the earth, roll your shoulders back. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower the chin, pressing up and back into child's pose. And then we'll tuck our toes and meet in downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Body, breath, thoughts and feelings all swirl together here in this experience. Looking forward, let your feet come to your hands. And inhale, look up, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bending the knees, sweep the arms back, out and up. And draw hands to heart. Pause. And let's go again through this dance, this moving meditation. Inhale, lift. Flow as you exhale, forward fold. Glide into your half lift. And step back, down dog. And then we'll take that vinyasa. You can choose your knees. If you're on your toes, shift forward and stop halfway down. Rise up and down dog. Pedal your heels, root down through your hands and breathe. You might even sigh. Looking forward, the feet come to the hands, lift halfway, and exhale, fold a little deeper, knees bent, spine long. Inhale, sweep your arms high, and draw your hands to your heart. And let's go one more time, reach high, breathe in, fold forward, breathe out. Look up, half lift, down dog, exhale. Take a vinyasa, and you know that you can always opt out of these vinyasa as well. You can stay in down dog or child's pose. Fill up, empty out. Looking forward, the feet meet the hands, lift halfway, and fold. Rise up, and bring your hands to your heart. Pause. Notice the three layers: body, breath, feeling, and thinking. Step your feet just a touch wider and reach your arms overhead, interlacing your fingers. And we're just going to tick-tock back and forth, side to side. This is a great pose to explore shifting from outer edges to inner edges. So we'll go over to one side and hold, and I'd like you to go to the farthest place you can go, and notice that you can feel your skin stretching. You're stretching the outside layer. Back up just 1/4 of an inch. And notice that you might even get a little more space when the focus is on the inside of the skin. Move a breath there. It's like we don't get locked up. There's a little bit more of a kind of an undulation in the body when we stay on that inner edge. Reach high, point your fingers, and then slowly tilt to the opposite side. And maybe go all the way to that farthest edge and then just slightly back to the place where something opens up. Unclench your teeth. Deepen your breath. Reach high. And lower your arms to your sides. Pause here and notice. I'd like you to notice your nervous system. Is there any jitteriness or is there a calmer feeling happening? We're going to go through Sun B, which is a sequence designed to stimulate the nervous system. It's designed to get you activated and warm. So just be the observer, be this Atman, this observer watching this body struggle and complain. So feet come a little closer together, hands to heart. Let's start here in chair pose, Utkatasana. And you're welcome to reach your arms out front or overhead. Peek down and see your toes in front of your knees, your tailbone reaching back. Notice where you start, even anticipation or dread. Just notice. And we'll flow with breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. And take a vinyasa. You have 3 vinyasa in this sequence, knees or toes. From down dog, raise your right leg up. And then shift your body forward, hug your knee in, and step your foot wherever it lands. You can use your hand to help you bring that foot forward if that's helpful. Drop your back heel and reach up into Warrior One. We're only here for 1 breath. Awesome, you guys. Exhale, hands to mat, down dog, and we'll take a second vinyasa. Inhale, knees or toes. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, send your hips back. And let's raise our left leg. Noticing you can help that foot forward, drop the heel, and rise. And we've got 1 more vinyasa. High plank to low on knees or toes. Find your downward facing dog or child's pose and breathe. Notice, has your nervous system taken a little uptick? So observe that. That's the design of this part of the practice. Stimulate, burn, grow. Looking forward, the feet come to the hands, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees and inhale, chair. So we finish where we started. What do you observe? We're going to go through that sequence 1 more time before we slow it down. So inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, down dog. Take a vinyasa. It's fast and furious here. We keep moving. Inhale, right leg lifts. Take a deep breath in and then step. Drop your heel, rise. Warrior One. Hands to mat. Down dog, take your second vinyasa. knees or toes. You're in charge. You get to choose. Inhale, left leg. Draw that foot through, help it if you need to, and rise up. One more time, warrior one. Last vinyasa. Whew. Knees or toes. We're gonna meet in either down dog or child's pose. And we'll pause. Breathing through your nose. Ujjayi breath is that whisper sound. Shifting your eyes forward, bring your feet to your hands, half lift, forward fold. Put a bend in your knees and complete Sun B in chair pose. And you might say out loud or to yourself, I did it. I did it. Lift tall. See if it feels good to you to reach back into a tiny back bend. Lifting up, reaching your thumbs back. Find your breath. And as your hands come to heart center, hinge from the hips. And let's find a deeper forward fold now that we're nice and warm. So heel toe your feet about hips distance apart and grab a hold of your big toes with your first two fingers. And then you're going to press your toe down into your fingers, lengthen through the crown of your head and bending the elbows, pull down. Come into a little deeper forward fold. You can keep those knees bent as much as you need to. Hear your breath. Feel your body. Notice thinking and feeling. The fourth layer of Vijnanamaya Kosha is the witness, the observer, the wise, knowing soul that watches all the thinking, all the feeling, all the sensations. It observes. Release your hands and we'll keep the right foot where it is as the left foot steps back. And let's lower that back knee to a kneeling lunge, grabbing any cushion that you'd like to put under your kneecap. We'll be on this knee for a bit, so go ahead and take care of yourself however you need to. So the core of every person's self is not the body, not the mind, not the ego, but Atman, soul or self, true self, capital S. That layer of us, that's the witness. Let's bring our left hand down to the ground. You can plant it flat or grab a block. Bring the right hand to the right knee, lengthen through the torso, and then start to twist your torso to the right side. And it might feel good to just keep your hand on your knee and use that as a little bit of leverage in your twist. A second option is wrap your arm behind your back and use that, the kind of the back of your hand to open up through the shoulder. A third option, you try your arm overhead and feel that stretch more through the torso, the chest. But give yourself the option to choose one of those three ways of kneeling twist. Breathe deep. And returning that hand to the mat. Tuck your back toes and let that knee float off the floor. Shift your body forward and back a few times. Getting length across that quadricep and hip flexor. And then putting weight into the right foot, let's rise up into high lunge. Take a second to find your balance here. You're welcome to keep that knee down, but if you're on your toes, really get up on your toes. So instead of down with the heel, lift that heel up. Take a hold of your left wrist and stretch that left side up higher. Really come up out of that side body. Noticing again when you've reached a hard edge, and see if you can just come back inside for a softer edge. Reaching the fingers high, drop your back heel, find your warrior one. Now hip flexor should be good and ready now for a warrior pose. Let's interlace our hands, placing them on the back of the head and press. Open, breathe. Fingertips reach high, peel yourself open, heel toe into warrior two. And take a good, strong stand here. Think of mountain pose with your feet, really deliberate stand. Good. Shoulders relaxed. Reach out through those fingers. Hold in two directions. And then float the right palm up. Come to reverse warrior and straighten your right leg. Let's make this one really big, opening through the side. Reach and breathe. Notice body. Notice breath and body. Thinking and feeling, and then that which observes all of it, the witness. Let's come back to warrior two. Tilting over the leg, right elbow to right thigh, left arm up to the ceiling or over your ear. I'm going to try both and see which feels better to you. So you're pressing into the outer edge of your left foot as you reach up and out through your fingers. Make your body long. Engage your core and see about reaching that bottom arm forward toward the screen, holding yourself here with strength. And notice your nervous system. Another challenge. Inhale, reverse your warrior, straighten that leg again. Exhale, windmill your hands to the mat, come back to low lunge where we started. And then let's pick up the back foot and find a 3-point balance. This right leg has done plenty of work, so just observe reaction. Go ahead and lower that left leg to meet the right. Pause here, forward bend. And then let's just shake it out by bending and straightening the knees. So one choice is easy bends. If you want to go a little deeper, come up on your toes and sit all the way down on your heels. And then straighten your legs again, head toward your shins. So either way, just bend and straighten a few times. Pumping blood flow, stimulating the lymphatic system. Maybe a sigh. And then we'll plant the left foot. Let's step the right foot back. We'll do the whole sequence now on the left side. So drop your left knee. Find any padding that feels helpful. You might just close your eyes and just check in with this hip, this stretch, this experience. The Atman is the spiritual essence in all creatures. Their real innermost essential being, eternal, our essence, and it is ageless. It's the deepest level of our existence. Let's move into a twist, right hand down or on a block, left hand to the knee, and then press your chest up and open. It's a wonderful place to stay, just that first edge. If you'd like, you can explore arm behind or arm overhead. Maybe the two sides are asking for something different today. Where do you feel this springy, ringing out sensation the best? Move your breath a little deeper into your hips, your low back. Good, let's return to center. Tucking the back toes, lift the knee, and we'll rise up to high lunge. So give yourself a good foundation, a solid base. Rise up and come onto either your back knee or your back toes. There we go. Shoulders are relaxed. Take a hold of your right wrist now and put length in the right side of your body. Breath, space. Notice when you hit a hard edge and see if you can come just slightly inside of that hard edge. Nothing harsh, nothing forceful. More graceful than forceful. Fill with breath and empty. Releasing the hands, we'll drop our back heel, warrior one. Interlace fingers, press your hands to the back of your head and press your head into your hands. Elbows wide. Might join me in that So much space here to explore, inner space. Releasing fingers, will open into warrior two. Widen up your stance. Deliberate in our standing. Reach out. Lift your heart forward a bit. Just feel this majestic posture. And then turn the palm and we'll reverse the warrior. Left leg straightens, looking for space in the left side of the body. Breath. Notice where the layers intersect here. Breath, body, thinking, feeling, observing. All you. Come back to warrior two. And then elbow to thigh, right arm either straight up or over your ear. Anchoring down through your right outer ankle. Really feel that. It's almost like you're lifting your back foot arch in order to just pull away from that anchor point. On your next exhale, the navel hugs into the spine fiercely so you can reach your arm forward and hold yourself, suspend yourself here. Leg might shake, core is working. Nervous system getting a little bit of a spike, intentional. And then inhale, reverse warrior. Come back into space. And just notice, it's kind of an ah. Beautiful, everybody. Let's windmill the hand to the earth, come to your low lunge, and we'll find that balancing pose. Fingertips forward, a 3-point balance. Hugging the low belly in firmly, lengthening the crown through a long spine. And then just slowly lower the right foot to meet the left. And either gentle, easy bend and straighten or deeper. Let your knees decide the depth of this movement. flow with your breath. And then come to a forward fold, lengthen through a flat back. Bring your hands to your hips and slowly rise up to stand. And let's come into mountain pose. We're going to do a little balancing. So folks, balancing poses are another place where the nervous system gets stimulated. So it's an opportunity to observe that, both that and then what comes after. So let's begin with the right knee into the chest. And if you like to use a strap, this is a great place to use a strap. We'll be extending that leg out front. So you could put a strap around the bottom of your foot instead of your hands. That's really good for the folks with long legs or tight hamstrings or both. So you could stay right here, but I invite you to extend that leg out in front of you. And that's where you might grab a strap or your big toe and breathe. And if you fall, that's what you get to observe, the reaction to falling. And then we're going to move in slow motion as we open up that leg. You can use your arm as a counterbalance, root down, stand tall. If you fall, start again. Just come back. Falling is our teacher. It lets us have something to watch. Points us to our inner critic, our self-judgment, our competitive nature. Come back to center, bend the knee, stand tall, squeeze the knee in and lower. Bring your hands over your heart. Let's just notice that nervous system response. Beating heart, shallow breath, self-judgment. And notice that taking 3 deep breaths can soften all of that. It distills, it slows, brings us out of fight or flight and back to a slight parasympathetic response. And we'll do it on the other side. Standing on the right, bending the left. So in these practices, we get to just observe the stimulation and then our ability to calm ourselves. What a great tool for a stressful life. Go ahead and extend that leg, either holding with your fingers or a strap. And then open. So on our mats, we deliberately challenge the nervous system in order to teach ourselves that we can calm our own nervous system. We have those tools. So the next time we're in traffic or a difficult conversation, we take 3 deep breaths. Ease your way back. Before you drop, just squeeze that knee in. Kind of complete the sequence and release. Pause, hands to heart, notice again. There we go, 3 breaths. It's not our fault, it's our humanity that makes us anxious about the instability. We react. When life gets unstable, we react. And so we breathe to come back to this place. I'm going to do it one more little balance pose. Draw your right knee into your chest, squeeze. You can stay right here, or you can open the arm behind you to come into a twist. And if you'd like a little more challenge, you can extend the leg with a strap or your fingers. And just to witness the need to do something right or perfect or even well. Witness, I used to be able to blah, 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 or I should. Come back to center and release. 3 deep breaths. And we'll switch sides, planting the right foot, lifting the left knee. You can stay here or find a gentle twist. And maybe extend the leg options. And just notice, be the witness. Come back. Exhale, release. 3 deep breaths. And while you're taking deep breaths, just step your feet wide. Start to walk your feet out to the edge of your mat. On your third exhale, hinge from the hips and fold forward. So from here on out, I promise you no sympathetic nervous system stimulation. We're heading into parasympathetic, which is the rest and digest part of our nervous system. So less effort here, less pushing and forcing and straining, more breathing and noticing. Let your fingertips come to the mat underneath you. Lengthen through a long spine. And then turn toward the front edge of your mat. Drop your back knee and meet me in tabletop. And we'll do 3 super slow cat and cow. Let's use these as our back strengthening exercises. So inhale to lift the tailbone, move up through the spine. The head moves last. And then exhale to tuck the tailbone. Let this action happen in 33 places, just in between every single vertebra, rather than one big movement forward and back. 33 tiny movements. And as your back rounds, widen up your knees, shift your hips back once again into child's pose. And if you'd like a little gentler pose here, you can bring your elbows underneath you or even stack your fists under your forehead. Take slow, deep breaths. Feel your belly now expanding between your legs toward the floor. Your ribs moving with your breath. Body, breath, thinking and feeling, and this witness that observes all of it, undisturbed, unaffected. this loving, nurturing witness. We'll release our hands and we'll swing ourselves around to a seat. And in this seated position, clear the flesh, lengthen through the crown, and we'll take another forward fold. These folds are calming and soothing. So you can start with a long, straight back, and if that's comfortable for you, fold over from there. You might even put a pillow or something underneath your legs or on top of your legs to make this a little more restorative. Slow your breathing. Observe, witness. And slowly release the fold. Scoot your heels to the front of your mat. Take a hold of the back of your legs and assist yourself down onto your back. Let your knees come to chest. Squeeze gently here and just make some circles. Go in both directions, just massaging the low back. Feeling, noticing, experiencing. Extend your legs up. Flex and point your feet, this gentle inversion. Getting blood flow out of the low extremities, up into the heart, the brain. And then just bend your knees, let your feet come to the floor. Open your body out into Shavasana, and we'll be here for just a couple of minutes. So I'm going to bounce your legs, tuck your shoulders under you, turn your palms up. And there's no need to just get super comfortable since we're only here for a couple minutes. Let this be a place where you just pause to observe. Observe any sensations you notice in your body. Observe your breath. Observe any language, any thinking or feeling that shows up. And observe that which is observing. He cannot be seen, but he is the seer. She cannot be heard, but she is the hearer. He cannot be thought, but he is the thinker. She cannot be known, but she is the knower. The internal ruler, the immortal Atman, the true self. In your next few breaths, make a transition to a seat. Keeping eyes closed, staying inward focused for a couple more minutes. In this seat, let one hand come to your heart and one hand come to your belly. Feeling body and breath. Thoughts and feelings. The absence of. And acknowledging this witness, this higher self, this observer that is our guide, our teacher, our most wise self. And from this place of connection with our highest, our best, our wise self, we then meet the fifth layer, Ananda Maya Kosha, the bliss layer. The layer where we are all one. Our souls dance together here in this big, beautiful, colorful, diverse dance, reminding us that we all come from the same source. We are all the same at this layer of our true selves. May we leave this practice today aware of the vastness of who we really are and our connection to each other and to all that is. If you choose to honor that with a word, you could join me with Namaste.